Now we shall see how did the society got changed, as we discussed just now that the transformation of transport system brought large area of the city into a small village pattern where you can travel from any corner to any corner within no time. So this has brought people closer. After getting people closer, the society got also struck with the transport system. Can you imagine how a society can get struck with the transport system? Yes, the influence of that will fall definitely on a family. So, in our families earlier, prior to the transport system got advanced, it was a production unit. When we discussed about the weaving, cultivation and all, the merchant used to go to the families where the houses were there in the countryside. There he used to give a contract for the people to work for them. So the family acted as a production unit during that time. All the family members used to work collectively during that period. After working collectively, they used to give the product to the merchant. Later, the family became a political decision making unit. Whenever it is necessary to make any decision, the family members all used to discuss and then take any decision. So it also acted as a political decision making unit. Later, it got transformation. The family got transformation into a new style, a new pattern where the bonds between the family members, husband and wife, got loosened. The ties, the relations became loosened. They were not as close as they were earlier. Though they live in large houses, but the relation and intimacy became very loose between them. That was not able to bind the marriages further. Marriages started to break down. The institution of marriages were really started to break down in a large number during this period of industrialization growth. And especially the women of the upper class who got breakdown from their marriages and whose children have maids and caretakers to make the work burden reduced for the women also feel very much isolated during this period only, because the family initially was to be the collective work activity, either for production or for political decision or for any work. They all used to sit together and discuss the things and finalize the things. But when it got transformation, when they were able to get their own job opportunities, when they started to move and to get access to different places, they got new relations. The old existing relations and ties of the families started to become loosened, and the marriages started to break down literally, and the women of the upper classes were started to feel largely isolated, though they had many number of workers, maids to take care of their children, to cook, to wash the clothes and everything. So that's how sections of people started to get dissociated with the regular cultural values what we had prior to the industrialization. So men, women and family, the role. Earlier men and women would together become a family, but now because of industrialization, they gave a, yes, it is 100% right to have your individualism. That gave a large growth of the individualism attitude, wherein from the rural backdrop, we have the collective values of performing the duties. As I mentioned for you earlier, that from the rural, if you look at the family was acting as a production unit, family was acting as a decision making point. But when we have the industrial growth, they started to move on to get individualism. Me, I, self attitude has to be developed here. Then the unequal access to the people of both men and women created a lot of confusion and chaos between their relationship. So that's how women and men start to become unequal attitudes here. But the other major thing which changed the attitude was that men started to prejudice the women when the wartime became, prior to the wartime, when the factories were replaced by the machinery, women were forced to move back to their houses, and a strong step was taken by the men to prejudice that women would be restricted to the household only, and any corner of the city you find more number of men searching for work or playing the work activity there. And then there were a movement done for 10-hour movement restricting the time period of working in the factories, where most of the men participated and very few women participated. So that's how women were very late in getting into the political movements also. So the inequality started to sustain back again in this society, where in the London city also, which is considered as a far well advanced city. But because of this industrialization, this has given a chance for the people to get lot of time on Sunday where there is a gap for them, where the mass time gap is there, and in order to spend this gap time or this large Sunday time, what were their leisure activities that made them to develop because of this individualism or because of the cultural city culture? What happened and what was their leisure time practices of the people, that we shall analyze now.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.